Hello and welcome to English Podcast.
Here you'll find fun topics, natural dialogues, and a relaxed way to practice English every day.
If you enjoy it, leave a like and subscribe. Imagine a beautiful, sunny afternoon in a bustling city. Our story takes place in a modern apartment building, right in the heart of all the action. You know, the kind with big windows and a doorman downstairs.
Yes, a place that seems safe and secure. Our main character, let's call him Alex, is a young writer. He enjoys the quiet of his apartment, perfect for concentrating on his work.
Exactly. He loves the peace and quiet, until one afternoon, something unexpected happens. Something, rather inconvenient, you could say.
Inconvenient is an understatement. He finds himself locked in his own apartment. The door handle turns, but the door won't open. He's trapped. It's a writer's worst nightmare, or maybe a good plot twist for his next novel.
Perhaps. This bustling city setting becomes his prison, at least temporarily. The big windows offer a tantalizing view of freedom, but they're several floors up.
Let's describe the apartment a little more. It's modern, minimalist, sleek furniture, lots of natural light. But now, that airy, open-plan space feels a bit like a cage, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And the irony is that he's surrounded by all the comforts of home: his computer, his books, his cozy armchair, but none of it matters right now. His main focus is escape. He needs to get out.
So, what does he do? He's locked in, the door won't budge. Does he panic? Does he shout for help? What's his first move? It's a real dilemma. Dilemma, that's a good word to remember. It means a difficult situation or problem.
So, after realizing the door was truly stuck, a wave of panic washed over me. Trapped, I thought. I jiggled the handle again, harder this time, but it wouldn't budge. It was completely useless. Useless means it didn't work, it didn't do anything to help.
Oh dear, that's a scary feeling. What did you do next?
I started to feel a bit claustrophobic, that feeling of being closed in, like the walls were closing in around me. The apartment suddenly felt much smaller than it usually did.
I understand. So, what was your first course of action? Did you try to call someone?
Exactly. I grabbed my phone. Thankfully, I had a decent signal. Decent, meaning it was strong enough to make a call. I immediately dialed my landlord, Mr. Jones. It went straight to voicemail.
Oh no, that's not good. Not having anyone to call would make the situation even worse. What did you do then?
I tried calling him a couple more times, but no luck. I left a rather frantic voicemail, explaining my predicament. Predicament means a difficult, unpleasant, or embarrassing situation. I told him I was locked in and needed his help urgently.
So you were relying on him to come and rescue you. I hope he had a spare key. Did you try anything else while you waited?
Yes, I did. I started checking the windows. Maybe I could open one and call for help. The living room window was slightly ajar. Ajar means slightly open. But it had a child safety lock, so I couldn't open it any further. It was so frustrating.
It sounds like you were exploring all the options. It's good that you didn't panic completely. What about the other windows in the apartment?
I checked the bedroom window next. It was completely locked. I tried to force it, but it was no use. It was stuck fast. Stuck fast means it wouldn't move at all. It was then that I started to feel really anxious.
I can imagine. Being trapped like that would be terrifying. What happened next? Did you manage to get any help?
So, to quickly recap what's happened so far in our story: the locked apartment, Sarah is trapped inside her apartment. The door handle is broken, and she's tried everything to open it. She's starting to panic a little, right?
Exactly. Remember, trapped means she can't get out. And panic is that feeling of fear and worry when you don't know what to do. It's a common feeling in stressful situations. Poor Sarah.
She's looked for tools, anything to help her pry the door open. Pry means to force something open, but no luck.
And her phone is dead. So, she can't call for help. She's really in a difficult situation. She's feeling quite isolated and helpless.
Now, in this part of the story, Sarah decides to call for help the old-fashioned way. Remember, she lives in an apartment building, so there are other people around, even if she can't reach them by phone.
She goes to her window, which overlooks a busy street below. This word, overlooks, means it has a view of the street. She hopes someone might hear her.
It's a long way down though, and she's a bit scared of heights. Heights refers to high places, being far from the ground. Sarah takes a deep breath and shouts for help. At first, she's a bit hesitant, her voice is quiet. Hesitant means unsure or reluctant to do something.
But then, realizing the seriousness of the situation, she shouts louder, "Help! I'm trapped. Can anyone hear me?" She repeats this several times, her voice echoing between the buildings.
Echoing means the sound repeats, bounces off the buildings. It's a good descriptive word.
A few people glance up, but most ignore her, thinking she's just being loud. They think she's making a fuss over nothing. To make a fuss is to create unnecessary excitement or drama. They don't understand her problem.
Sarah starts to feel desperate. Desperate means feeling hopeless, like there's no solution. She's losing hope that anyone will help her.
She considers other options, but her mind is racing. What else can she do? She's really stuck.
Right, so, last time we left off with Sarah frantically searching for her phone. Remember, frantically? It means doing something quickly and with a lot of worry, like a frantic search. She was desperate to call for help.
Exactly. And desperate is another great word here. It means feeling or showing a great need or desire for something. She desperately needed to get out of that locked apartment.
She finally found her phone tucked away in her coat pocket. Relief washed over her.
Relief, that wonderful feeling when something bad stops or doesn't happen. Imagine the relief she felt finding that phone.
She dialed the emergency services, her hands shaking. "I'm locked in my apartment," she stammered into the phone. Stammered means to speak with difficulty, repeating sounds or words, often because of nervousness.
Poor Sarah. The operator on the other end asked for her address and reassured her that help was on the way. Reassure means to comfort someone and stop them from worrying.
It's such a helpful word to know, and a comforting thing to hear in a stressful situation. While she waited, Sarah paced back and forth in her small living room. She noticed a small window high up on the wall she hadn't seen before. Paced means to walk up and down, usually because you are nervous or impatient.
It's like when you're waiting for important news and you just can't sit still. You pace around.
Exactly. It seemed too high to reach, but it offered a sliver of hope. She dragged a chair over to the wall and climbed onto it, stretching to reach the window. She had to contort her body to even get close. Contort means to twist or bend out of its normal shape.
So, she's really twisting and turning trying to reach this high window. Imagine that. It emphasizes how difficult it was for her.
She managed to open the latch. The window swung open, revealing a narrow alleyway below. Fresh air rushed in, a welcome relief from the stuffy apartment. Stuffy means lacking fresh air or ventilation. It's a good word to describe a room that feels a bit airless and uncomfortable.
It's that feeling you get when a room has been closed up for too long. Thinking of being trapped inside, the fresh air must have felt amazing.
Absolutely. And just then, she heard a knock at the door. The firefighters had arrived. Okay, let's quickly recap what happened to Sarah so far. She woke up, found her apartment door strangely locked, and her phone had no signal. Remember, no signal? Means she couldn't call anyone. She tried the windows, but they were also locked tight. She started to feel a little panicked, right?
Exactly. And then she remembered the old, slightly rusty fire escape. Rusty means it has a reddish-brown coating from being exposed to the weather for a long time. It might be a little dangerous, but it was her only option to get out.
She carefully climbed onto the fire escape. It was a little precarious, meaning unsteady or risky, but she managed to climb down a few levels. She noticed the apartment below hers had its window open.
Yes, and she called for help. Thankfully someone heard her. A kind elderly woman opened the window. Sarah explained her situation, being trapped in her own apartment. The woman let her in.
From inside the neighbor's apartment, Sarah was finally able to call the building superintendent. Superintendent is a person who manages and takes care of a building. He came and opened Sarah's apartment door. It turned out there was a problem with the lock mechanism, some kind of malfunction.
And remember, malfunction means it stopped working correctly. The superintendent fixed the lock. What a relief for Sarah. It was quite an ordeal, wasn't it? Ordeal means a difficult or unpleasant experience.
It certainly was. So, to recap the whole thing once more, Sarah got locked in, couldn't call for help, used the fire escape, got help from a neighbor, and finally the superintendent fixed the faulty lock.
A good reminder to always check our exits and maybe have a backup plan, just in case. Imagine being trapped like that. It could be quite frightening.
Absolutely. It's also a good illustration of how important it is to stay calm and think clearly in a difficult situation. Sarah did a great job of that, despite being initially scared.
Yes, and remember how she used the fire escape carefully. It's always wise to be cautious, especially in unusual or emergency situations. Thinking quickly and carefully definitely helped Sarah in this story.
Thanks for listening to English Boost. Remember, practice a little every day and you'll see big results. See you in the next episode.